Every year, an alarming number of teachers leave the profession to go on to do bigger and better things. Now, there are many things that can attribute to this, but typically, the consensus among teachers is they're just burnt out. This slide shows the total number of teachers that leave the profession. I want to draw your attention to 2015, where over 1 million teachers left to go into another industry, but the total teachers who became jobless is almost 3 million. In this next slide, we see that the ratio from men to women is larger. Men are much higher chance of leaving the teaching profession than women are. In a society where it's do more with less, can burnout be avoided? Tammy Hotchkiss is an adjunct professor in McDonough, Georgia, and spends most of her free time preparing for her classes that she teaches twice a week. We sat down with her so that she could give us some tips on what she does to avoid burning out. Tell me what a typical work day is for you.
Typically my day begins about 4:30 in the morning. I check my student emails, do a little bit of grading of my assignments, then I'll get ready, go into work. I'll grab some coffee on the way, maybe breakfast. When I get to the campus, I'll open up my lab, set up all my computers, make sure they're good to go and have all the right software I'm going to need for my lesson for the day, set up all my PowerPoints and presentations, probably about 4 hours before class starts. Then when my students get there, they start coming in usually a little bit early, some of them a little bit late, and then I'll teach my lesson and my day ends around 10 o'clock at night.
With days that long, do you ever feel stressed or overwhelmed?
There are times when you feel overwhelmed, especially at the beginning of a fall semester when you have high enrollment. Sometimes you'll have stressful moments where you have things that happen in the classroom that you're not prepared to deal with, emergency situations or things like that. It's good to have a team to lean on for advice and to kind of help you along the way.
Do you ever take a day off?
Yes, it is very good to take a little time to yourself to reset and get ready to go back in. Our days as professors are usually very long and tedious and eventful, so it is very good to take a break and get out into the outdoors and find something to help you reset.
What types of things do you do to reset?
Oh, I go kayaking. I take my dogs to the park. I go fishing. I have outdoor activities that I do. I have coworkers who exercise. My dean, she jogs and does her exercise, taekwondo and things like that. Each of us have our own little outlet to get our stress relieved and to help reset and rejuvenate so we can get back in the classroom.
Do you think by not rejuvenating yourself, it affects your daily performance?
Absolutely. I think everyone needs to take a little bit of time to themselves so that they're able to clear their thought and mind before they start into their next work day or their next work week or whatever it is that they face with any job. But teaching, yeah, definitely.
And how often do you get away or recharge?
I try to every weekend, but it's not a possibility, especially with me having a love for outdoors. A lot of times it's difficult because of the weather, but I try to at least once a month take a weekend to go do something. And I let my students know. I set their assignment due dates on Thursdays, so that they know they can have them in by Friday. If there's a question on an assignment, I can regrade it on Friday. As a part-time professor, it's easier for me. As a full-time professor, I could see it being a challenge. So when I become a full-time professor, I would hope to maybe do it once a month or once a semester at least. But as part-time, I can do it almost every weekend.
One last question, and you kind of touched on it, but if you could go back in time and have one of your associate professors or senior professors take you aside and give you some sort of advice on recharging, and now you fast forward and you're in that position, is there anything that you can tell a new professor coming into your field, some advice or something like that to give them, to send them on their way?
I think if I were to give me advice when I very first started, would be just slow down and enjoy it, so that when that opportunity comes to advance into a more strenuous position, I'll be ready for it.
Would you say you would definitely point out you got to put everything aside and get out and do something?
Absolutely. Yeah. I even take time to do volunteer work at parks. If it's just cleaning up or picking up tree branches or trash in the park, I take time out of my day to give back to the community as well. And it's a different avenue as opposed to what you typically do in the classroom.
Tammy went on to say that whether it be the occasional camping trip, kayaking trip, or just a drive to get out and get your mind right, a recharge is necessary, and no truer words were spoken than when she said, "Slow down and enjoy it." And that is how she avoids burnout.